Hi, Tom from bknutrition.com, and in this video I'm going to talk about weekends, and more specifically, should you take weekends off from your training when you're trying to build muscle? Should you take a day off from the gym or 2 days off from the gym to rest over the weekend and then get back into it on Monday? Should you train on a weekend? Is it more beneficial to do a training day on the weekend to sort of bump up your training days to build more muscle? So a few different questions here. First of all, I'm going to start off on, this really does depend on what your schedule looks like during the week. Now, I have clients I work with who train all the way through the week and then they take weekends off to be with their family. I have clients who don't have a family or social life or anything like that, and they just like training, so they do train on the weekends. But before we go out and train 7 days a week because you've got no other commitments, what you should be thinking of here is that it's not just the weekends which is a special thing here, it's the rest days that you're taking and planning into your schedules. Now, I have done another video about rest days, when to take them, etc., so I won't really go into too much detail here. But the fact is that most of us are still working sort of normal 9 to 5 type jobs, as in we work in the week and we take the weekend off. Of course, some people do work on weekends, etc. But what you need to think about is that, what is your normal schedule? Now, most people's normal schedule at the moment, this is the majority of people I work with, I should say. I know there's people out there who do, other schedules and that. Most of the people that I work with are in an office or are working 9 to 5 or around about that time, Monday to Friday, and they take the weekends off. So I'm going to primarily talk about that. And because their normal routine is a Monday to Friday gig, and then their weekends are like different days, as in different schedules to what they would normally do. Generally, what we do is we say, well, maybe we should take a weekend off, or take one day off on the weekend at least, and look to do our training sessions in the week when you're already in a routine. So most people will get up, have their breakfast, go to work, or go training before they go to work, work the full day, and then come home. And if they haven't been training, they will go training then, or they train in their lunchtime. There's normally 3 distinct times people train: is before they go to work, during their lunch hour, or after they finish work. And not many people train at sort of like 10 o'clock in the morning or in between their work day like that, because they're trying to get their stuff done and focus their family life and social life and training life around that. So because of this, because they got their Monday to Friday routine, it's a lot easier to schedule their workouts into that routine, because they just look at their diary, right, I've got meetings, right, train there, lunch, family, whatever, and they're all in their diary. And I'm a big believer in making sure that your training is in your diary. Most of the people I work with, entrepreneurs, businessmen, that sort of thing, really, really busy days. And one of the drawbacks they have is that they don't put their training in like a diary announcement. So what happens is that they just say, oh, well, I'll finish work at 5, so I'll just train then. But they don't put it in their diary. And so what happens is their assistant comes along and says, oh, there's a late meeting there. Or they decide they're going to train their lunch hour, and then again their assistant comes on and goes, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to schedule a meeting in for that, or we can just do this in that period. And so they don't really schedule it in as an appointment which cannot be broken. So that's the first thing to think about if you are quite a busy person. Make sure you do have your schedule mapped out. Yes, you need your meetings. Yes, you need your time that you're going to be working on projects, especially to promote your business. But also, you need to have that time in where you're going to work on yourself, work on the business of being healthy, the business of building muscle. And I always say to my clients, make sure you got that in, and honestly, if you are setting your own diary, if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, you will have control over your diary. So you should be setting your stuff that's really important to you, such as your family, your training, that sort of thing. I even schedule my eating times, because otherwise I just work straight through and I'd forget to eat or whatever. Funny things, I used to be a bodybuilder eating all the time, but yeah, that does happen with me. So I schedule my eating times, my time with my son and my family, and my time and my training time, and then all my work stuff goes around that. Now, because Monday to Friday I work, I don't generally tend to work on the weekends. I have this schedule where I know I'm going to train Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday, and my schedule is pretty rigid. Monday, Tuesday mornings I train, Thursday evenings I train because I have my son in the morning, and Friday mornings I train. Now that's all scheduled around my childcare and my family. Obviously, if I had my son on different times and different days, I would schedule my workouts differently. But that's how I schedule mine, and that's what works for me. So I train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday, and then because the weekends, because I alternate with childcare, I have my son one weekend and I don't have the next weekend, I generally just take weekends off because I don't know if it's not something I can put routine on, so I can't, like, every week I'm going to be training, say, legs on Saturday or whatever. I can't schedule it in regular because of the alternating routine. So I don't schedule workouts on the weekend. However, what I do is on the weekends that I don't have my son and I've got the weekend to do whatever I want with, then what I do is I schedule like an arm workout or something like that, like a bonus workout. Something that is not scheduled into my normal workout routine, but I can add in extra to just do something a little bit extra to work on a body part I'm trying to bring up. And it's normally arms or your chest or something. I don't normally train legs on a weekend. I used to do that when I was bodybuilding and competing, but legs on a weekend now just seems like something a little bit like a serial killer would do, so I don't do that. So yeah, arms, something which I like doing, which I can get in on a Sunday morning. It's always Sunday morning. Get in on a Sunday morning, smash a bit of arms, and then you get pumped up for the day. Yeah, it's a bit vain. Yeah, it's a bit like, look at my arms are so big or whatever and pumped. But that's what I like. I like training arms, so that's what I do. On Saturday mornings, I do the HIIT class with my son, so I don't train that day. I don't do any workouts that day, even if I haven't got him, because I've always got him on Saturday morning. So that's my schedule. I work it around my family, and I work my family then, and then I've got my training, and then my work comes in after that. Now, if your schedule is different to that, then you will need to adjust, obviously different times, different days. But the main thing here is that what I encourage most of my clients to do, if they have this normal routine, is to set days in the week where they can train and follow a routine in their normal routine. And then if they get to the weekend and they've got some spare time or some free time, then they can have a little bit of a bonus there. Now, although, yeah, that works for me, that's my routine. I'm not saying you should do things or my routine. I don't think my routine's not going to work for everybody. But what I've found with working with hundreds of clients over the last couple of years, or 10, 12 years, whatever it is, that actually works for the majority of people. And the reason it works is because we all have a different mentality to weekdays and weekends. Now, it doesn't matter if you work on the weekends, because I used to work in when I was a student and everything else. I used to work in shops on the weekend. I used to work in GNC and sell supplements to people. And when I did that was a weekend. It was still a working day for me, but it was a weekend, so it felt different going into work. And it just does. It just feels different. Monday to Friday feels different to Saturday and Sunday because it's the weekend. Most other people are relaxing or taking time off. And there is that different feel about it. There's a different feel when you go into the gym. It's a weekend feel than if you go in the weekday. And so sometimes it can be hard to motivate yourself to do something like a leg session on a weekend. So this is why I say to most of my clients, and it does work for the majority of people, get your routine in Monday to Friday and then have your bonuses on the weekend. Because the thing here is, say you've got a family, and I go out for family dues all the time, my girlfriend and my son and everything else. We go to see grandparents, or go to Alton Towers or Safari Park or whatever. We do that, and if I was not able to train on a scheduled training day because I was going away, there would be that little bit of, I've missed out on training today. When actually your thought should be, yeah, I'm going away and doing something great with my family. But if you like training, you don't like missing training days. So there will be that little bit, I've missed training today. And then you've got to go, I've got to catch up and do that session another time. And, if you're watching these videos, you're watching my channel, this is probably how you do think. You really hate missing a training day. So there is that sense of, I've got to get my training days in I've got my 3 or 4 or 5 sessions during the week. So if I don't have a regular scheduled appointment on a Saturday or Sunday to train, as in that's one of my main training days, it doesn't matter if I go off for the weekend, go away for the weekend or whatever else, because I haven't scheduled that time. It's not time that I would normally be training. It's time that is a bonus if I train. So the mentality of that is get your workouts in on the week, and then you've got a bonus on the weekend. The mentality of that is I'm doing something a bit extra for my body here, giving myself a little bit of extra workout, rather than I must train on the weekend because that's my normal scheduled time. Again, if your routine's different, if you always have, say, Monday and Tuesdays off work, then you might want to schedule it a bit differently. But this works for the majority of people. So the question about should you take weekends off, that really does depend on what your normal schedule is. If your normal schedule is a classic sort of Monday to Friday working schedule, then what I would suggest is not book anything regular as in training wise on a weekend. But if you get the opportunity to do that and you feel, energized, you feel you could go and do a session, then why not do that? Like I said, I schedule my every other Sunday when I don't have my son on Sundays. I schedule an arm session with my training partner because it's just nice to get in and flex some arms and do some arms and stuff like that. I still train arms on the week. I still do it in the week, but it's like a little extra bonus session on the Sunday, and then I go off for Sunday lunch and everything else. But it's not something I'm really going to miss if I don't do it. I can take it off and go, don't matter, because I've already trained a little bit of arms in the week. It's a bonus session. So that would be my recommendation. Set it as a bonus session on the weekend. Take the weekends off, especially if you've been training 5 days a week straight. Yeah, then you should definitely take the weekends off, because you should give yourself time to recover. But hopefully, if you're watching this, you're watching my other videos, you'll know that you do have to have a rest day after at least three sessions. So if you've done 3 sessions in a row, it's a really good idea to have a rest day, because your CNS, your central nervous system, is going to be a little bit fried, especially if you've been training hard. So it's a good idea to have a rest day. So unless you have been training 5 days, you definitely do need the weekend off. What I would suggest is that get your normal workouts done in the week, and then when you get to the weekend, if you want to have a bonus workout, do that. If you don't, that's fine. Go off and do other things. But then you won't be bothered that you've missed that session or you missed your bonus session because it wasn't normally scheduled. So that's it for this video. Like I said, a little bit of a quick video just to answer that question, because it's something I got asked in one of my groups, and hopefully you benefit from that. If you found this video helpful, just if you can, drop me a bit of a like. If you want to know more, drop a comment. Happy to answer any questions. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please go and do the subscribe thing, because that always helps with getting my metrics up and helping me conquer the world of YouTube one subscribe at a time. Okay, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Appreciate your time. Bye for now.